Welcome to the Pimp My Setup highlights for episode number 120. The first setup was submitted by Rich. I'm not a big fan of boxes in most places. I think in certain places it does work, especially if it's a cool box. You know, I don't want a box for your dildo. I'd rather a box for an epic video card or something like that. What I would recommend is getting rid of that and a lot of other crap that's underneath your desk. Wire management's not completely awful, but having all that other random, crap all around kind of makes it look a little bit more hideous. I just think that usability is a bit odd. I think that out of sight, out of mind's not really the best. I don't really like how the games are displayed necessarily, and there's really no coherent theme. There's nothing that I could really say that's what that guy likes. Rich scored a 54. The next setup was submitted by Hunter. The best part of his setup is actually not even his setup. It's the third photo where he's got sort of like a shrine for Avengers, Captain America mainly. Very, very cool little section there. Definitely mood lighting, looks good. Really, really nice. In the second photo, you kind of see the nitty gritty and zip ties. You already did it, but if you had black ones, it would look like 10 times better. Underneath the desk leaves a little bit to be desired. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like how you laid out the desk because of the fact that you're putting yourself to the left when you have nothing that really makes it so you can't put yourself in the middle. Subwoofer, I would also kind of push it closer to the leg so that you don't have that cable, showing as much as it already is. The PS4 kind of looks like it's in a terrible position because it's onto the edge of the desk. So that's why if you centered yourself, you could have the PC on one side and the PlayStation on the other. And I think that would just make a lot more sense. If anything, if you want to keep yourself on the left side of the desk, get some storage, like little shelving units for underneath the desk that you could slide the PlayStation into. You could put the subwoofer next to, and it will hide the cables and make your life a lot easier. Hunter scored an 80. The next setup was submitted by Omar. That's pretty good. Like, it looks good. It's, not the best cable management, but he's doing a laptop setup. Very cool. Dude, that window is so cool. Like, this is actually a pretty cool window, I'm not gonna lie. And what I love is that built-in shelving and how you have the vinyl all over the place. Like, dude, that is a badass setup. In terms of usability, speakers, great spot. Keyboard and mouse, great spot. I don't know how it works on that countertop. I would personally, I think, because we've had that desk, I think it doesn't work that well. I would definitely get an extended mouse pad. Omar scored an 84. The next setup was submitted by Dan. The wall, I have to say, this is like one of the few times I see a blue wall and I say, damn, that color blue actually works. The one canvas piece, the one art piece up top. Nice, simple, straight to the point. In terms of usability, I didn't really give it a perfect score because it just seems awkward that you don't have the one display. You're trying to go for the main display in front of you and then the secondary to the left. But in this scenario, it's not centered because you don't have enough space. It just kind of looks odd in the way you're trying to make it work. I just feel like that desk doesn't have enough depth for what you're trying to do. So I feel like there needs to be some relocating of things. And I think, like I said, the first step is to move the PC down. Oh no, you won't see the window anymore when he's using it. Yeah, too bad. It's how it's gotta be. Dan scored an 80. The next setup was submitted by Wayne. Wayne was on Pimp My Setup as a host. Now, these kind of desks I'm not the biggest fan of, but he made it work. If you look around, like, do you see cables? Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say stuff about his secondary monitor. It's a Dell, it's one of the cheap ones. It's the one I used in school. Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's got his main display, which is what he uses for gaming and things like that. Overall, just very, very, very clean in the sense that he has everything he needs, like that C920 on a tripod on the right side. He's got his Blue Yeti, set up and ready to be pulled down at any time. He's got soft boxes because he does a lot of streaming and things like that, making videos. Holy balls. That is a lot of work. Everything is so precisely put up on the wall. Very, very cool. Really shows off like what he's into, which I just think is awesome. Wayne scored an 86. The next setup was submitted by Tim. Wow, all that furniture is epic. Like, super nice. The drawers and everything, you could tell that stuff was probably expensive. The speaker placement, not a big fan of. I don't know if those are rear speakers or if he has two left and two right. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I know a lot of people are also probably going to complain about, well, it's probably really hard to use both of those monitors because he's got like no primary. I can see it where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, some people prefer it. Not the end of the world. I do think that it's Very simple setup. I do like the stands that they're on. Tim scored an 88. The final setup is submitted by Joe Rand. Super straightforward. Like, out of sight, end of mind is really nice because there's no crap on there. The one thing I don't like is mouse pads that you put under your keyboard, so your keyboard is unleveled, so when you type, it's like it's just really annoying. I could see that being a problem. You need a headphone stand of sorts, maybe even a dock for the MacBook Air. I think that would look perfect because you do have the spot for it. Joe Rand scored a 72. Tim walked away with first place, getting an 88. Thanks for watching the Pimp My Setup highlights for episode number 120.